In this video, I'm going to go over a tool called collision detection. Collision detection is very useful when you're trying to figure out, are you going to be able to assemble the assembly that you've made without colliding with any other parts. Collision detection is also very useful in trying to figure out the exact position of when one component is going to touch or collide with another component. So, to illustrate this tool, I'm going to use it on the offset shaft here. I'm going to use it on the offset shaft. Just for your information, this is also called a worm because it's the thing that's driving the worm gear. That was just a little freebie there. And to find collision detection, it's not very apparent on the command manager. It's within the move command. So if you go to the assembly tab and then click on move component, one of the options in the move component property manager is collision detection. So click that bubble, and then we can either do collision detection on all components or select components, which I'm going to do here because I only want to focus on the offset shaft or the worm and the housing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure stop at collision is selected and that it will highlight the faces that are going to be colliding and make a little sound when they have collided. So now to test interference detection, I need to drag the offset shaft in a couple of different directions to see if it's going to collide with the housing when I remove it. Oh, and it doesn't move. I wonder why. The key here is to use to use collision detection. If you're going to move a component that you had constrained in a certain way, you need to suppress that mate first. So the mate I want to suppress on the offset shaft is the coincident mate between the groove face and the right side mount face. So I'll go over to the mates folder. The mates folder is right here in the feature manager design tree. And I'm going to find the coincident mate, where is it? I feel like I'm close. Not that one. There it is. I was on the wrong side. So I'm going to suppress this by right-clicking and hitting the suppress icon in the pop-up toolbar. And now when I go to collision detection, which is within the move command, I'm going to select my components again. And then I will click on resume drag. This will allow me to get into the drag mode, and I'm just going to drag the component in a couple of different directions. And it looks like I hit a stop and I've already collided. Huh. The gear part of the offset shaft is colliding with the housing. So it looks like there's actually a situation where I can't even assemble this offset shaft into the housing. That's very interesting. So I have a problem here. I'm going to have to redesign my housing to allow me to get the worm gear inside this area first, but still be able to mate very closely with the shaft portion. So I'm going to illustrate that again. So move component, collision detection, and then, whoops, select the components you want to do collision detection with. Oh, I have collision. I need to click stop at collision. It stopped right there. It stopped right there. So this thing is stuck inside here. Do y'all see that? This thing is stuck inside here. So some good notes to take on collision detection would be, first off, it's inside the move component command. So you can open up Microsoft Word and say, hey, this collision detection is inside the move component command, and it's right here. And the other very important note you might want to take would be that you need to suppress the mate that is going to restrict the movement that you're actually going to test out. So I wanted to test out moving this offset shaft into the housing of the gearbox. So I needed to suppress the coincident mate between the left face of the groove and the right face of the side mount.